Oh man, okay. Technical challenges abound. Hey, good Tuesday morning. My goodness. I hope that everyone had a wonderful weekend. If you're here, you're joining me, let me know in the comments. Say hello. Let me know you can hear me, and hopefully you can see me. What did you do this weekend for you? I went on a bike ride. Ooh, that was loud. I went on a bike ride. I down at the ocean front. Man, it was nice. The weather here in the mornings was beautiful this weekend. And then spent some time hanging out with my brother, and yeah, just enjoyed relaxing this weekend. I did have to come in and do a little bit of work yesterday, but it's part of an exciting launch that we're working on for a client. I'm thankful for that. So I'd love to hear what you did over the weekend for you. Good afternoon, Laura. Thanks for coming. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend as well. I know we've chatted a bit. In fact, someone gave me a great topic to talk about today. I won't call them out, but I'd love to hear, if you're here, say hello in the comments. Love to hear what you did for you this weekend first. Let's start there. And then I'll share some thoughts with you. We've talked a bit about, well, we've talked about a lot of things, I feel like, but we've talked about eliminating the negativity in our lives and your lives, and some strategies about doing that from a personal perspective. But today I want to talk a little bit about what do you do when it's time to walk away from negative people in your life. Laura, why did you have a great weekend? I'd love to hear from you. I mean, I know the answer because we've chatted, but I think, so I know Laura spent some time with some family this weekend and was able to just enjoy being present with them. And I don't know if that's something that's a regular occurrence for you or not, but I imagine it's just nice to be able to be present and enjoy those people in your life. And sometimes people we don't get to see often. So I know you had a great weekend. With your dad, yes. There we go. Who else? Anybody else do anything for themselves this weekend? So, what I don't know. Let's just. What do you do when you realize that you may need to walk away from someone negative in your life? Whether it's a coworker, friend, maybe a family member, maybe a spouse. How do you determine that to begin with, right? That's a tough question. And I think it starts with just evaluating the things that we've talked about. Where are you? Where do you see yourself going? Where do you want to be? What do you dream about? And then once you've thought about that, you need to evaluate, are the people around you the people who are going to help you get there? And if they are, that's wonderful. We need people like that in our lives. And we don't necessarily need to get rid of the people who aren't helping us get there, unless they're a negative influence in our life and they're destroying everything that we tried to build, everything that we tried to do, everything that we tried to work on, the things that we dream about. If those don't align and their negativity seeks to destroy our own well-being, maybe it's time to walk away from them. And then how do you do that? It's not an easy subject by any means, I'm sure, but how do you do that? And this comes from some conversations that I've had with people, and even some personal experiences that I have had, having, whatever you want to call it. And I'm looking back to my notes here. So yeah, I think the first thing is to evaluate where you are, and then evaluate where those people are, or that person. what needs to change for you to continue to move in the direction that you want to go. When you make the decision to walk away, which is the next step, identifying a support system is probably a great next place to be. Identifying those people in your life who are in alignment with where you're trying to go and are willing and able to support you from an emotional, from a theoretical, I don't even know the words I'm looking for, but finding those people who are willing to support you in your journey and encourage you and be cheerleaders for you simply because they love you, they care about you, or because you're going in the same directions. You need people in your corner. So finding that support system, I think, is the next step. Once you've identified that support system, then, hey, Angela, good to see you. Thank you for being here. My question to start today was, what did you do for yourself this weekend? I know that we had a long weekend here in the U.S. I don't think that Korea celebrates Labor Day, especially since it's U.S. holiday, but let me know what you did this weekend either way, Angela. And then I was talking about what we need to do when we think or believe that there's someone negative in our life that we need to walk away from. And my steps were fairly simple so far. And this is a much bigger topic I think we can talk about more this week. Will's driving and has to get ready for work, but he says he'll listen later. Yes, I love that about him. He does regularly go back and listen, and I appreciate all the support. And you studied for the LSAT this weekend. Wow, good for you. But what about we do, but on a different day? I got you. Yes, talking about Labor Day. Yes. What did you do for you, though, Angela? And I know that ties into where you're trying to go. But did you take a break from all of those things and just spend time in relaxation, in recreation, or in something else? So I said, I think the first step is to evaluate where you are, where you're trying to go, and then evaluate the people around you. Are they negatively impacting your ability to move forward? And if so, and you make the decision to walk away, what's next? I think identifying a support system, identifying people who are going to be in your corner to support you. And that doesn't mean, so if we're talking about spouses or friends, that doesn't mean that we have to segregate the people in our lives from those people, right? They can be friends with those same people. We just need to know that they're there to support us in our journey, whatever that looks like for us. We don't have to force anybody into creating boundaries or barriers that they're uncomfortable with. We need to create our own. And then, so once you've defined that support system or identified those people in your corner, I think the next thing is, just like we've talked about all along, to keep it simple, to create an action plan. Think about all of the moving pieces that are going to need to be tracked or considered in the process of walking away. And the process of walking away can look so differently for so many different situations. It's hard to put a definition on it, but identifying all the moving pieces so that you can keep track of them and build a simple action list. In the case of the conversation with my friend, it was personal. It's a spouse that they believe they need to walk away from. And identifying the support system there has been critical. But I think developing a simple action plan has been the next critical thing, considering all of the moving pieces that are going to be affected in this action plan. And then just sourcing information, I think, is the next step. What information do I need to consider and who is going to be the expert resource or the resource to provide me with that information. In this particular case, it happens to be an attorney, right, to take the next steps in this particular issue. Consulting with an attorney to identify exactly what is next and what considerations do I need to be aware of. And that's just simple action steps to move in the direction that they want to go. I love that, Angela. Studying for you is that thing, and you love it. I love learning. I love knowledge. I love exploring projects and challenges. So I can see how that fits. And it's not weird to say at all. Having been a teacher for such a long time, Angela says she enjoys studying for the sake of her own improvement and accomplishments. And Angela, that's wonderful. It's not strange. It may be strange for some people, but I get it, and I'm right there with you. So thanks for sharing that. Well, those are my thoughts for today. I've actually reached out. Is that proper English? I don't know if that's proper English or not. I don't really care. I reached out to a community that I'm a part of and asked a similar question just to see what some professional coaches, life coaches, and career coaches have to say on this topic. Because I think it's important. I've realized that there are negative people in my life that I need to walk away from, and understanding just how to do that, it can be challenging. What are the impacts? What are the implications? What are the moving pieces that I may or may not have considered? Who else might be affected? I think those are important, but the most important piece is just understanding who you are and where you're trying to go, evaluating whether or not those people around you are going to be there to support you or not support you, right? That's really, I think, the simplest component of it all, that we probably get so wrapped up in all of the things that could be and all of the possibilities that exist that we'll never know about until we take action to move in the direction. That's the biggest thing today. Is I had a conversation yesterday with someone. It came up again this morning with someone else, and it's been a recurring theme over the past few days, and that the difference between successful people and those who want to be successful is their ability to take action. We've talked about that in so many different ways. It all comes back to deciding to take action and then taking action. It doesn't have to be this big ambiguous thing with all of these unknowns. We don't know how things are going to play out. We can only imagine how they're going to play out, and usually our negative mind takes over first. Our negative mind will tell us all of the things that could potentially go wrong, stand in our way. And as we try to prepare for them, it becomes so overwhelming. I want you to keep your life simple. I want you to focus on, how can I just be better in my life today? And are the people around me going to be here on that journey with me or not? And if the answer is no, that may be someone you need to consider walking away from. For your betterment, for their betterment, for your freedom, for their freedom. If you want to create a better life, you need to define who you are, where you're going, and what you want to be. That's my message for today. I'm so thankful that y'all are here. Love to hear what your comments, thoughts, questions might be. So I'll stick around and look for comments in a minute. And you're most welcome, Angela. Thank you for being here, all of you. I hope tomorrow I have a little bit more answers for you on what to do, what steps to take once you've made that decision to walk away from someone negative in your life. I hope that, though, today what I've offered has been helpful. And if you have someone in your life you need to walk away from, and you need help, someone to talk to, someone to chat with, I'm always open for virtual coffee or in-person coffee if you're nearby. I'd love to offer my support to anyone that's looking to grow. And I think eliminating the negativity in our lives is one sign of people who simply want to be better, want to grow. All right, I don't see any more comments. Those are my thoughts for today. I hope that that was helpful in some form or fashion. But at the end of the day, success takes action. So decide what's next for you, decide what you're going to do, and then start taking steps. Take action with the little things that you can affect or impact today. I want you all to be better. I want to be better. So again, thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you're rested, recharged, and ready to take on this week.